here we are finally getting into our grand finals, best of 5 ZVP. Speaking of Z, here we go, spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Beckett Industries ALE. We have the Mexican Protoss player, not Zerg, representing Timbers Esports and Macacos all over the world. It is JimRising. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Beckett Industries, we have, oh my god, going for a 12 pool. Yo, this is what I wanted to see. We waited like 20 minutes to start this series, and mate, this game is gonna last like 3 minutes. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be beautiful. We have the Brazilian Zerg player. He is blue, representing Team The Bad. It is TheZergLord. Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. So this is going to put JimRising's defense to the test. This is going to be amazing. So this is one of the problems, right? JimRising, he has a relatively small amount of experience with his Protoss compared to his Zerg, right? He's been competing as Zerg for like 10 years, right? And now Protoss he's been playing for like maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months, closer to 6. So yeah, because of that, how good is his early game defense, right? He scouts with his probe, he sees the lings, he knows it's a 12 pool. What is his response? Will he make the same mistakes? He throws down the second pylon, good start. If one pylon goes down, the second pylon will still power, or should still power some of these buildings. This pylon is kind of far away from the gateway, so I'm a little bit concerned, I'm not going to lie. And yo, he doesn't pull any boys, which is scary. The lings are already here. They're going to focus down the cyber core. The cyber core will go down. What's important is that there are 2 gateways here. 2 zealots are on the way. One of the pylons is being focused down, but it's the pylon that doesn't matter too much. Ooh, the zealot gets surrounded, and the zealot will go down. So will the pylon, and GG gets called. 12 pool. Just hasn't lost today. GG, well played. JimRising tasting some of his own medicine, mate. It's one of those things where I'm sure Shakti and the ZergLord, they're good friends, and I'm sure Shakti was like, yo, 12 pulling for me. Do it for me, papi. And the ZergLord, he did it. He pulled it off, mate. And the thing is that on Beckett Industries, it hits so much harder because of those speed zones, because it's the smallest map in the map pool, so it hits a couple of seconds faster. And the ZergLord, man, he's already up in the series. I like how small the StarCraft community is. Yeah, like we're like, despite us being relatively small, like we're familiar with, well, I guess for other reasons, we're familiar with like Fear Dragon and Oli Molly and Maynard and Pig, stuff like that. But yeah, wow, GG, what a game 1. When he was starting to lose weight, he did an IL stream, then we forced him to climb the stairs. It's good, it's good. Some days we just need a good 12 pool. We've had 2 good 12 pools today. Oh god. But this is what I mean, like, light a fire under JimRising with his Protoss, you know? Like, JimRising, if you leave him alone, this is what I've criticized about Ryu for a long time. Whenever we see Ryu versus JimRising, Ryu in ZVP is relatively passive, and he will let the Protoss player expand and take more bases and tech up, and then he'll go toe-to-toe with them in the late game. And that can be risky, right? ZVP late game against Skytoss, against carriers, it's, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So yeah, like that's the big problem with Ryu of all of them, and that's why we've seen, one, to be fair, we've seen Ryu take down JimRising in the later game, but like to allow JimRising to get to that point, like that's what JimRising wants, you know, that's where he thrives, and this is where the ZergLord comes in with his 12 fools, man. All right, here we go. Game number 2. We are loading in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE. We have the Mexican Protoss. He is red. He is representing TeamBriz Esports. Currently down 0-1, but it's okay. It's a best of 5. We got plenty of room to work with. It is JimRising. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. He is blue, representing Team The Bad. It is TheZergLord. Not going for an early pull, which makes sense. It's one of those things where you typically don't want to do it 2 games in a row. Where's he? Okay. He was moving out with his drone just in case there was a probe here to block him, ready to go to another base. Instead, there was no probe, so he does go and he does take his natural base. Ooh, not in an unnatural natural location. And now Jim, I'm sure he's on edge. He's being very vigilant with his scouting, confirms that nothing crazy is going on. And now I worry for the TheZergLord because of the map. We're on Romanticide. We talk about this all the time. Romanticide is a very Protoss favorite map right now. The reason being, it's relatively easy to expand and defend on 3 bases, on even 4 bases. Yo, TheZergLord, mate, are you gonna lose this? Mate, mate, calm down, buddy. But yeah, taking a 3rd base and taking a 4th base from here, like, it's very easy to wall up, to turtle up, and get that Skytoss going. So that's why I worry for Zerg players here. By no means is it impossible to take games as a Zerg. We have seen even JimRising against Shakti on this map, right? Go for a German taxi, go for an all-in, hit a timing before the Protoss player is ready when they're unsuspecting, and then you can take an easy win there. We have seen even Ryu do something like that. You know, you hit these Hydra timings. If you're Raynor, right, hit these lurker timings. Maybe even some cheeky Spire play. There is a lot that you can do. So like, by no means is this like is the TheZergLord out of this, but again, it is scary if JimRising gets up to 3 bases or gets up to 4 bases on this map specifically. So we'll see what the TheZergLord has in store for us, and we'll see what Jim has in store for us. We haven't been able to see what his playstyle is. If you remember last week, god damn it, Nodo Casa. Oh god. It does stand for something. It does stand for something elaborate. But yeah, if you recall last week, if you were here with us, JimRising was playing around with very fast Fleet Beacon. It was double Stargate into Fleet Beacon into Tempest. Specifically, Paco Mike started off with it, and then JimRising kind of took that for himself as well, and they've been playing around with it and having fun. But I'm getting too ahead of myself because there are a decent amount of lings here, and 4 more lings are on the way. Yo, the TheZergLord has not droned up. He is going for a massive ling flood. The lings are already hitting the front of the base. Yo, a recall is being forced, and here we go. All the lings have been revealed. The TheZergLord, he is rushing across the map, looking to just end the game. The pylon goes down. There's no shield battery. Everything gets surrounded. Mates, the TheZergLord, is he gonna do it again? 2 adepts get taken out. Only 1 adept remaining. Jim, he's gonna wall it off. He's gonna wall it off, mate. But the lings, they get in, and they almost get us around. The shield battery, it's so close to finishing up. If it finishes, then he can overcharge, but the adept is going to fall. The pylon is going to fall as well. Everything is going to be depowered because there is an Artosis pylon here. Just focus it down. Quick, get it. There it is. GG. Wow. And already the TheZergLord, he's up 2-0 in this grand finals. Mates, if you're looking at the predictions right now, a lot of points were put on JimRising. 99% of the points are on JimRising, 1% on the TheZergLord. If the TheZergLord takes this series, it's going to be a massive payout. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Of course, romanticide LE. LE stands for Lover's Embrace, and that's what JimRising needs right now. He needs someone to hold him. He needs the mental fortitude to claw himself back into this series, because if he slips up one more time, he is done. He's just done in the tournament. There's no lower bracket. The ZergLord, he's one win away from winning the entire thing, from being our champion. Last Lost every day. Ay, Chileno, please. Oh boy. Just watching the stream right now. And this is where like you can abuse or exploit, I think that's probably a better word, a player like JimRising, where early game defense with the race that you don't have as much experience with, that's where you struggle a little bit more. And man, the ZergLord, he's so close. And that this series XD, yo, the ZergLord, man, he's gonna do what he can. Nothing is off the table, mate, for the ZergLord. Dirty. He doesn't care, mate. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE. We have the Mexican Protoss. Already down 2-0 as I quickly fix the score in this best of 5 grand finals of Copa Hyperion number 18. Mate, he had a pretty good time getting here, but he's struggling right now. He's struggling in the early game defense. It is, of course, representing Timbers Esports and Macacos all over the world. It is JimRising. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Jagannatha LE, going for another 12 pull, by the way. We have the Brazilian Zerg. He is blue, representing Team The Bad. It is, of course, the ZergLord. Oh god. Ready Upra. Match fixing Kappa. I mean, I wouldn't say that at all. Again, these players, that's what I love about the Latin American scene, is that the top players, we talk about them. Paco Mike, Ryu, the ZergLord, JimRising, Eric, Eggs when he's playing, when he's not playing League of Legends, Shakti, they can all take games and they can all take series off each other. And the ZergLord knows what he has to do to win. Oh god, here come the Lings. They're flooding across the map. It was a 12 pool opening, as a reminder. JimRising saw that, and with that pylon block, he did delay the 12 pool a little bit, so he has a lot of time to work with. We do have 2 pylons up here for JimRising, so if one goes down, the other will still be here to keep these buildings powered, and he does chrono out one of these zealots. Because of this, he should be okay. He should be able to hold. Oh no, Jim! Jim, please! Oh god, he's dancing with the devil right now. He needs to be so careful not to get surrounded. Oh no. Okay. He backs off. He's on hold position. A second zealot is about to pop out. And you know what? Oh no! He does get surrounded. One of these zealots will be going down, but the other one is holding the line here. So still not the worst thing for JimRising. Only losing 1 zealot. The adept is going to pop out, and once the adept comes out, then JimRising is perfectly fine. He does defend, he does hold at home. And the ZergLord is still making Lings. Interesting. I thought he was going to drone up. He did make a drone, but he's still making nothing but Lings. We have Ling speed on the way. A queen is coming. Yeah, there we go. He's committed to the Ling flood. If JimRising drops his guard, he's dead, mate. He moved out. He's moving out across the map with his adepts. His adepts are not at home to defend. Oh no, and now the Cybercore is under threat. The Cybercore is going to die. JimRising, he's coming back home. He's not recalling. It's too late. The Cybercore's dead. It's gone. That's it. And with the Cybercore dead, no more warp gates, no more adept production. The wall is not a wall. The Lings are flooding in. There are more Lings banking at home. He's waiting. He's waiting for Ling speed. Like, he's not pulling the trigger yet because he doesn't need to. Well, now would not be the time, right? He needs Ling speed desperately. Right now, we have a couple of Lings in the main base, kind of being annoying. The Adepts are now at home. If Jim commits to this shade, I worry for Jim's life right now. Oh god, he's in the middle of the map. He could be surrounded, but instead he misses the Lings entirely. The Lings are going across the map. The wall's not a wall! No! It's wide open! The Lings, they flood in! Not like this! Jim, please! Oh my god, he has to recall! The Adepts, they're across the map. There it is. Recall is being used, but you know what? The Lings are already in the main base. The probes are going to fall. 4 Adepts are pretty good, and they can, you know, body block for each other, but there are just so many Lings here. The Adepts are going to get surrounded. And that's exactly what happens. The probes are fighting alongside the Adepts, and it looks like JimRising has enough to clean up these Lings. But not before losing 11 Lings. Sorry, 11 probes. At the same time, more Lings do flood into the natural base. They take down one of these pylons. But again, it looks like JimRising should be able to clean this up, but oh my god, he's just lost so many probes. 20 probes are dead. Ay, ay, ay. And we still got nothing but just the TheZergLord. He's just holding down that. No, Jim! No, the Zealot, please, porque Maria. Oh god. Ay, ay, ay. The Zealot. God damn. That Zealot is he needs to pull a reverse special. He needs to eat. He needs to widen up and hold the line and plug up that hole. Jesus Christ. Okay, the Lings is only one in the main base. There are plenty of Adepts here and shield batteries. I would say that now is a good time for the TheZergLord to drone up. Unfortunately, he's making nothing but Lings, and I think he may be throwing a little bit. he needs to calm down. There we go. He's starting to drone up now. God, it's a hard call, right? Because there are 2 shield batteries done, this is a very difficult wall to break. Very difficult. Like, the TheZergLord, there's no way. There's just no way. Oh, he was trying to push the Zealot out of the way, actually, with some cheeky micro. And because of that, like, it's just not going to happen. So if you continue to invest in this, like, this is great for Jim. What's important? Baneling Nest. Baneling Nest is an amazing way to get through this. Doesn't matter how many shield batteries you have. If you have enough Banelings, you will one-shot the Zealot, and then you can flood in with Lings. And what's scary is that right now, Jim is droning. Like, he's focusing on the next step. The Baneling Nest is about to finish up. That Void Ray should not come out in time. Oh my god! The Zealots get surrounded. No, the Zealots are going to go down. One Zealot does go down. The second Zealot is being kept alive by the War Prison, but the Lings are going to be able to just, power through them. Both Zealots do fall. Only 2 Adepts remaining. Banelings can be morphed in if he needs them. He doesn't even need them, mate. But you know what? Enough time has passed where a Void Ray is going to be coming out, and the Void Ray is key here to defend. That's a lot of Banelings. Too many Banelings, maybe. Like, you still need a lot of Lings to help clean up. The Banelings are gonna rush in. The Void Ray is busy in the main base, not at the natural. The Banelings are waddling. They are going to connect, and they do break the wall. The Lings flood in. The Banelings are here. The Banelings are looking to connect with the probes. Split, puppy, split. Oh god, and he does split pretty well. The Banelings have not found too many juicy connections. Nice splits, but the Banelings, they connect. The probes do fall, but the Void Ray will be able to clean everything up, and JimRising is still ahead in workers. The TheZergLord, there was a point here where he could have transitioned and he could have droned up and he could have taken another base. Because he decided not to, he's still all in, and if he needs to end the game, and it's looking really rough. He will be able to take down the gateway, but the wall is still solid. Meanwhile, there are 2 Banelings being morphed in. Yo, these 2 Banelings are huge. Jim missed them. Jim, please. No. Oh, God. Ah, 12 probes go down. Suddenly, the TheZergLord is up in the worker counts. Gateway gets taken out. And the TheZergLord, because of those Baneling connections, he's droning up. we are getting into a longer game, but the ZergLord is in such a good position. The only thing going for Jim is the fact that he has the Void Ray. And how much anti-air is there? 2 queens. The Void Ray with good enough micro can maybe make something happen. The ZergLord knows this, so he's throwing down some spores to survive. The spores aren't done yet, so we'll see how much damage this one Void Ray can get done. Oh boy, oh boy. The Void Ray dives in, it ignores the queen, which means the queen will win the fight, and he only gets a single drone. Ay. Okay, the Void Ray will force a cancel on this third base. There's no way this third base gets saved. So again, JimRising does still have this tech advantage, right? Because the lair is so late for the ZergLord. The ZergLord, he's trying to save it. No, please don't lose it. Cancel, please cancel. Oh. Oh god, I swear to god, the ZergLord. Just mate. Mate, please. He does cancel the third. Thankfully. Meanwhile, JimRising is focusing on his Void Rays, and that's what he has to focus on. The Void Rays are the way that he's going to get back into this game. It is keeping him in this game. Meanwhile, the lair is about to finish off for the ZergLord. So now the big question is, what does the ZergLord do from here? Does he go into Hydras, or does he go into Aspire for Corruptors? Or Mutas even. If he wanted to, he probably could go Mutas. We'll see what kind of tech he goes for. Meanwhile, this Void Ray dealing a lot of damage. 2 drones go down. As long as he gets away with his life, it was worth it. And it looks like he will, so well done there by JimRising. He's working on +1 flyer attack. He's working on his second Stargate as well, so he is going to mass Void Ray to begin with. Oh boy. And with that, we see the tech of choice. It is not Aspire. The ZergLord is going for Hydras. And I think that's a pretty reasonable decision. It is pretty well-rounded in case Jim does switch into a ground-focused army. You know, Hydras, they shoot up and they shoot down. This is a little bit scary because obviously if JimRising goes towards a robotics bay, he will have AoE, so he will have an answer for the Hydras, but right now he's kind of stuck even trying to establish a third base. He's struggling to establish a third base. So this is still in the ZergLord's like court. To be fair, JimRising, he's ahead in workers, but the ZergLord has a lot more production available to him, so he can drone up a little bit harder. Ooh, and now 3 Void Rays are going across the map. And this is what I assumed JimRising was going to go for. JimRising, he likes to go for disruptors to protect his Sky Toss. He prefers disruptors over High Templar and Storm, to begin with anyway. So he is working on that. He just needs a little bit more time. The Void Rays are here. 3 Void Rays can deal a lot of damage, but there are enough Hydras to push this away. But again, JimRising, what he just did, he just killed 2 drones for free. And he confirmed that there are Hydras, so he got a lot of scouting information with that, and he kept his Void Rays alive. So far so good, but now he's aware of the Hydras, he needs to defend, and he's working on a pylon. He does not have enough time to establish shield batteries. This could be the killing blow. The ZergLord, he's going across the map. He gets scouted by the observer, so JimRising, he's aware of the situation he's in. Does he have enough to defend? He has 4 Void Rays. One of them almost gets picked off. We do have 2 shield batteries and overcharge available. 1 shield battery only. The Banelings are waddling in. They try to connect with the structures, and it looks like the shield battery falls. The Hydras, they're stutter stepping into the natural base. JimRising, he was trying to get a third up and running. It's not gonna happen, mate. The natural is gone. All the tech in the natural will fall as well. There are a decent amount of Void Rays and a disruptor is on the way, so if he is able to buy enough time, maybe he can like trade, but there's just so many Hydras. There's no way. Colossus comes out. We'll see how good the micro is, how good the stutter step is. Oh god, no, Jim, he doesn't micro the Void Rays. 2 Void Rays fall. The disruptor comes out. Decent connection with the disruptor, but there are just so many Hydras, it doesn't even matter. The Banelings are looking to connect. Oh god, get the drones out of there, get the probes out of there. The Banelings are chasing them away. The disruptor is actually still alive as well, so the disruptor needs a little bit more time for another shot. The Colossus is microing well. Only 2 workers have died, but the Colossus will fall. It should fall. Another disruptor shot goes off. Only 1 Hydra, not ideal. The disruptor falls. Hydras are all over the place. GG gets called. And the ZergLord TZL, the Brazilian Zerg player, takes the series 3-0. Ay, ay, ay. GG, well played. JimRising wants to get into his Void Rays. He wants to get into his Sky Toss. He wants to get into at least the mid game. The ZergLord did not let him. Not at all in this series. The ZergLord, all about the aggression, all about the all-ins. He takes the series and he is our Copa Hyperion number 18 champion. And Jim, mate, you got to work on your defense. You got to, like, he had his scouting information. All right, he scouted very well, JimRising did, but when it came to his decision making, his control with his early game units, being able to pull boys, the positioning of his buildings as well for that SimCity, that is something that he needs to work on. And because he doesn't have as much experience with Protoss, it's something that you need to like focus practice on, right? Like get a practice partner and actually like dedicate time to that. And I don't know if JimRising is the kind of player to do something like that because he is also an entertainer as well. But GG, well played, JimRising. He did a good job getting to the finals, but he couldn't handle the aggression. He couldn't handle the cheese. He couldn't handle the Brazilian Zerg. He's the ZergLord, of course. Oh boy. Meanwhile, sorry, I was very engrossed in that series, so I did miss out on a lot of chat. The ZergLord only needs to count to 12. Exactly. Oh god. I love how everyone's losing their mind. But yes, as Nodokasa said, there is a tutorial on YouTube. You can force, with specific micro with Lings, or with any unit really, you can like force a Zealot out of position. It is possible, it is possible. So you gotta be ready for it. A void and a dream. Ay. But yes, GG, well played. Thank you everyone for joining me today. Massive shout out to Talk Savior for running the tournament. Shout out to Vortex. Vortex was adminning the tournament as well. Much love to Cosmos. Cosmos joined me as casting the events in Portuguese. And also shout out to Lord Loken for boosting the prize pool, as well as Darth Mono. I believe all the codes have been used. If they have not, !Matcherino in the chat if you want to if you want to support the tournament and use code HYP18 to boost the tournament prize pool by $1. But yeah, it was great to see everyone contributes and help boost the prize pool. The players love it. The players appreciate it. Big shout out to JimRising for making it to the finals, and the ZergLord for maybe a bit of an upset. Historically, JimRising has been the stronger player over the ZergLord, but that historically that is JimRising with his Zerg, not with his Protoss. And we got to see the ZergLord in his elements. You know, count to 12. That's all you got to do, mate. Just need a 12 pool against Protoss every single time. And he did well. He did well today. Congratulations. Well deserved. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining me. We will be live soon, TM, as I quickly bring up the schedule. I will be casting with, I believe, Yaku Zaku. Grand Platypus Open at 5 p.m. KST, as I just set that up. That is 6 p.m. my time. That is in 4 hours, 5 hours. So still plenty of time. So, you know, you have plenty of time to get some food, get some rest. And if you are still awake, which you're crazy if you're in the land of the Americas and awake at that time. But if you are awake, then you can join us. We will be casting GPO, that is a tournament for Southeast Asian and Oceanic players. So players like Demi, Mio Micah, Gogo Joey, Ender, Ranger, Starduck. So if you're interested in tuning into that, then we will be running that tonight. In 5 hours. Otherwise, if you want some more NA and Latin American action, Battle of the Americas is tomorrow at 8 a.m. KST, 1 hour before Copa Hyperion started today. So yeah, tomorrow we have some more StarCraft available if you are interested and if you want to tune in and cheer for these players. JimRising and TheZergLord are regulars in Battle of the Americas, but obviously in Battle of the Americas there is a little bit of a difference in that we have American players competing as well. So people like Vindicta, Nina, Trigger, Ruichi, Ryan, Patty Mac, we have all of these guys show up and compete against players like JimRising, TheZergLord, Paco Mike, Cham. So we have this kind of North America versus Latin America kind of theme going on, where more often than not they do go up against each other and they have like their kind of national pride behind them. So if you want some of that, then it is a lot of fun. Every single week we have Battle of the Americas. Copa Hyperion is a bi-weekly event, but yeah, we have plenty of StarCraft here on the channel, so consider following us, following the channel. If you are interested and if you want to be notified when we go live, then you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We have a Discord channel as well. We have a YouTube channel where all of our VODs are uploaded. If you don't tune in live and if you want to tune into the VODs, they're there as well. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh yes. Before I forget, mate, the payouts are crazy. Let's do the payouts because there was not a lot of faith in the TheZergLord. Let's do it. Someone made a lot of money. Well, someone made a lot of points. Choose outcome, the TheZergLord. Boom. And of course, with those points, you can request group places. You can contribute to the Spanish intro as well. There's a lot of fun things you can do there. You can also remind people to hydrate their hydras, things like that. But yes, thank you everyone for tuning in today. I appreciate it. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you want to stick around, I'm going to raid someone and another StarCraft 2 streamer, so you can give them some love. As I quickly check who's streaming right now. Anyone of notes that we usually raid. If like Panda Bear Me is streaming, we usually raid him, or Pili Pili. Who's streaming right now? We'll see. I'll find someone. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao.